Hey, what's up you guys, it's Connor, and today I'm going to be doing a book review on Arabella of Mars by David D. Levine? Levine? I don't know.
Levine.
Levine?
I mean, Levine, I've never heard that as a word. Levine.
Levine. Levine.
Like,
this book follows a girl named Arabella who at the beginning of the book is living on Mars with her family, and her dad has a large obsession with automatons, and so she spends a lot of time with her father tinkering with these automatons and learning about the parts that make them up and how to fix them and everything like that. She also has a lot of freedom on Mars to do whatever she wants to, and so she spends a lot of time with her brother playing in the sand dunes of Mars and learning about the Martians and everything like that. But her mother is from Earth, and she really wants to take all of her daughters back to Earth so that they can become proper ladies and to stop running around and being indecent. By the way, this is an alternate history world where in the 1600s, the first person made it to Mars on a flying ship, and then from then on people have been going back and forth with these flying ships and colonizing Mars, and there is a native population on Mars, obviously called the Martians, and this book takes place in this alternate world in the 1700s. And so there's still a lot of those classical gender roles where females are not supposed to be outspoken, they're supposed to be quiet and cover their skin and stuff like that. Arabella's mother is not out of line with those things, but Arabella does not want to conform to that gender role. As for my usual book review videos, I'm going to give you my pros and then my cons and then my rating. Pros. I really like the space travel elements in this book, and I really like the science fiction elements, obviously. That's why I read science fiction, is for those elements. And so I really like that they have flying ships, kind of like Treasure Planet, where they can fly through space and they don't have to worry about oxygen or anything like that. That was the feel that I got with these flying ships going from Earth to Mars and Mars to Earth. And I also like that David decided to put the setting in a 1700s alternate universe. I thought that was really interesting, and I've never read anything like that before. I think the character consistency is on point. Arabella does not change rapidly like a lot of characters tend to do, and she definitely has her head on straight and thinks logically, and she has a goal and she's working towards it, and she doesn't change the way that she thinks about things too much without reason to. And so I think that David did a really good job of keeping a lot of the characters similar to that. For instance, a lot of the characters that are on the ship that Arabella decides to join when her family on Mars is in trouble do not change a lot over the course of the novel, and I really liked that he kept those characters consistent, because there would be no reason for someone that is a rough sailor to become some sweet, humble boy in the course of this novel, and so I really liked the character consistency. I liked Arabella as a main character. I thought she was a very strong female character. She, again, was very consistent in the way that she went about things, but she also had her priorities straight, and she was willing to sacrifice certain things for her family, and she was basically willing to sacrifice her entire life for her family, and so I really liked that amount of dedication and loyalty to the ones that she loved. She's also extremely intelligent, and so she is very good at maneuvering through different situations when she's on the ship, even before she gets on the ship and after, and I liked seeing her in those different situations and how she decided to cope with them and the ways that she problem solved. Another thing I liked was the world building. I thought that it was very concrete, and I had a really good grasp for everything that was happening. I liked that David gave the Martians a different culture and that he really explored that culture to the fullest, and the morals that the Martians had were slightly different than the ones that the people from Earth had, and so I really liked seeing that comparison, and I liked seeing how their two cultures clashed but also ended up working out together really well. And I also like that he made the females of the Martian population a lot stronger than the males, and the females were actually the warriors, where the males were more of the submissive group in their society. I also think he did the world building well because he didn't dump information, he let it trickle out throughout the story, and so you never just get a huge chunk of information about this world. You get the information gradually as you're going along, and so it's easier to grasp and you don't get overwhelmed with all that information. I also liked the ship life part. That is a huge section of this book is when Arabella is on the ship, and so I liked learning about the ship and how the ship worked and how it was different because normal ships are on water and have gravity, and this ship was in space and didn't have gravity, and so I liked seeing how David accounted for those changes in atmosphere and gravity and stuff like that. He had them connected to ropes almost all the time, and so I liked that he took into account all those different things for the ship life in space. Now onto some of my cons. It took a little bit for me to get into the writing style and the time era that this book took place in. For some reason, I took a big break between reading the synopsis and actually reading the book, and so I forgot that it happened in the 1700s. So the diction that David uses is a little bit more formal, and so it took me a little bit to get into the novel and to get behind everything that was happening. So it took me about 20 pages though, so that's not a huge con. Also, Arabella is actually the only character that I cared about. Any of the other characters could have had bad things happen to them and I wouldn't really have cared as much. And so I wish that there were some side characters, mainly the ones that we were supposed to like, that I would have fallen in love with and really rooted for, but in the end I didn't really root for them all that often. I really just was for Arabella, and all of the other characters could have just been doing whatever they were doing. Although I think that Arabella was a strong character, she had a tendency to submit to male authority a lot of the time, and I think that she could have been stronger and stuck up for herself a little bit more. And the last thing I didn't fully love was that the ending was quite rushed. I thought that when compared to the pacing with the rest of the book, the ending was so fast. The rest of the book is pretty one speed. It's not too crazy, not too exciting. Some exciting things do happen, but it's pretty much at this level, and then right when you get to the end, it's like and goes crazy fast, and everything is wrapped up extremely quickly, and I would have rathered have a little bit more time with the ending and some of those events at the very end be drawn out a little bit, and I also would have liked to have a little bit more information about what happened after the ending, and that would have really benefited this novel a lot. Overall, I really liked this book, and I ended up giving it 4 stars. If you liked that era of 1700s colonial time period, I think you'll really like this as well. This book comes out on July 12th, so I'll definitely be posting this review before then, but I hope you guys will check it out if you find it at all interesting. So that's my review on Arabella of Mars by David D. Levine. If you like this video, please give it a big thumbs up and comment down below your favorite book with sky pirates in it, or a book with a lot of pirates in it that you enjoyed. Regular pirates are fine. And I will talk to you guys next time. Bye.